Ever wonder who were the first inhabitants of Europe and Asia, long before the modern humans set foot? Enter Neanderthals. In the grand tapestry of human evolution, the Neanderthals hold a special place. They were our distant cousins who emerged around 400,000 years ago, a time when Europe and Western Asia were vastly different from the world we know today. Their story begins with the hominids, our common ancestors. Over time, these hominids evolved, adapting to the harsh environments and the changing world around them. Eventually, these adaptations gave rise to a new species, distinct yet closely related to us, the Neanderthals. They were powerfully built and adapted for survival in cold environments. Their bodies were shorter and stockier than ours, a build that helped them conserve heat. Their brains were just as large as ours, if not larger, suggesting a comparable level of intelligence. The Neanderthals were a resilient species. They weathered the storm of multiple ice ages, carving out an existence in the harsh and unforgiving landscapes of Europe and Western Asia. These were not simple creatures, but complex beings who used tools, mastered fire, and even buried their dead. Over time, they spread across a vast area, from the Atlantic coasts of Europe to the mountains of Central Asia. They were the undisputed masters of their world, a world that was wild, untamed, and full of challenges. Yet they thrived, they survived, and in doing so, they laid the groundwork for future generations, including our own. Their legacy is etched into our DNA, a testament to their resilience and adaptability. The Neanderthals were more than mere cave dwellers. They were pioneers, explorers, and survivors. They faced the world as it was, not as they wished it to be, and they left an indelible mark on the story of life on Earth. So, Neanderthals were not just a blip in the evolutionary timeline, but a significant part of our prehistoric past. Imagine surviving in the harsh ice age without modern conveniences. That was the daily reality for Neanderthals. In the frosty world of the Ice Age, every day was a battle for survival. Neanderthals had to constantly adapt and innovate to stay alive. They weren't just grunting cave dwellers, they were skilled survivors who knew how to make the most out of the resources they had. Let's talk about their diet first. Neanderthals were primarily hunters, and their menu was heavy on meat. They hunted large Ice Age animals like mammoths and woolly rhinos, but also smaller game like deer and rabbits. They weren't picky eaters. If it moved, it was food. But they also supplemented their diet with plant-based foods when available. Now you might wonder, how did they manage to bring down such large prey? That's where their tools came into play. Neanderthals were adept at crafting a variety of stone tools. They made hand axes, scrapers, and spear points, which were used not only for hunting, but also for processing the meat and hides of their kills. The hunting techniques they used were quite sophisticated. Neanderthals employed a strategy known as ambush hunting. They would hide and wait for their prey to come near, then launch a surprise attack. This strategy required a good understanding of animal behavior, a keen eye, and a lot of patience. But life wasn't all about hunting and gathering. Neanderthals also had to protect themselves from predators, withstand harsh weather conditions, and take care of their sick and injured. They built shelters, made clothing from animal hides, and even practiced a rudimentary form of medicine, using plants with healing properties. Neanderthals were more than just survivors. They were innovators, adapting to their environment and making the most out of what they had. They lived a tough life, no doubt, but they were far from being the primitive brutes we often imagine them to be. Despite the harsh conditions, Neanderthals adapted, survived, and even thrived. They were a testament to the resilience and adaptability of the human species, and their legacy lives on in us today. Their story is a reminder that humans can overcome even the most daunting challenges, as long as we're willing to adapt and innovate. Did Neanderthals like us ponder about life, death, and the cosmos? This question has intrigued archaeologists and anthropologists for years, and the answer, it seems, is a resounding yes. The Neanderthals had a rich and complex culture, filled with rituals, symbols, and possibly even a form of religion. You see, Neanderthals didn't just live and die. They buried their dead, and not just in a hole in the ground, but with care and attention. They often arranged the bodies in a fetal position, sometimes with the head facing west. They even included grave goods, such as animal bones and stone tools, perhaps indicating a belief in the afterlife. Then there's the matter of the cave art. Found across Europe, these enigmatic drawings depict animals, humans, and abstract symbols. Some researchers believe these symbols could represent a form of proto-writing or could be spiritual in nature. The sophistication and recurrence of these symbols suggest that Neanderthals had a shared symbolic thought, a cornerstone for any belief system. And let's not forget the intriguing discovery of a circle of stalagmites in a French cave. This structure, dated to be over 175,000 years old, was likely built by Neanderthals. Its purpose? We can only guess. A social gathering spot? A ritual site? It's a tantalizing mystery that hints at the complexity of Neanderthal society. Perhaps one of the most compelling pieces of evidence is the discovery of a Neanderthal child buried with a winged bird. This has led some to speculate that Neanderthals may have believed in spirit animals or totems, much like many indigenous cultures today. So, were Neanderthals spiritual or religious? While we can't say for sure, the evidence points to a society with complex beliefs, rituals, and symbols. Neanderthals, it seems, were not just brute cavemen, but beings with complex thoughts and beliefs. What happened to these robust and hardy beings that once roamed vast landscapes, you may wonder? Well, the extinction of the Neanderthals, our prehistoric cousins, around 40,000 years ago, is a puzzle that has intrigued scientists for centuries. There are several theories that attempt to explain this mystery, each with its own set of compelling arguments. One of the most popular theories suggests that Neanderthals were outcompeted by our own species, Homo sapiens. As modern humans spread across the globe, they brought with them advanced technologies and sophisticated social structures. These advantages might have provided the edge they needed to exploit resources more efficiently, ultimately leading to the Neanderthals' downfall. Climate change is another contender in the ring. The Earth was undergoing significant shifts in climate around the time of the Neanderthals' extinction. As the Ice Age began to wane, the cold, harsh environments that Neanderthals had adapted to started to disappear. This could have disrupted their way of life and made survival increasingly difficult. Lastly, the theory of disease cannot be overlooked. Some researchers propose that Neanderthals may have been wiped out by diseases brought by Homo sapiens. As modern humans migrated from Africa, they could have introduced new pathogens to which Neanderthals had no immunity, leading to devastating outbreaks. Each of these theories provides a piece of the puzzle, yet none can fully explain the Neanderthals' disappearance on their own. It's likely that a combination of these factors, along with others we may not yet understand, contributed to their extinction. Despite centuries of research and debate, the fate of the Neanderthals remains shrouded in uncertainty. As we delve deeper into our past, we continue to uncover more about these fascinating beings who were so much like us, yet so different. Their story serves as a stark reminder of the ever-changing, often harsh realities of existence on this planet. As we wrap up this segment, let's remember that their disappearance remains one of the great mysteries of our prehistoric world. So, who were these ancient beings we call Neanderthals? Let's take a brief walk down memory lane. Originating around 400,000 years ago, Neanderthals were our closest extinct human relatives. They adapted to the harsh climates of the Ice Age, showcasing their resilience and resourcefulness. Their lifestyle was far from primitive, with evidence of them hunting large animals, using tools, and even controlling fire. They were not mere brutes, but rather skilled survivors. Delving into their culture, we find a rich tapestry of beliefs and practices. They may have conducted burials and had a sense of the spiritual, suggesting a level of cognitive sophistication. However, around 40,000 years ago, they disappeared. The cause of this extinction remains a mystery, with theories ranging from climate change to competition with modern humans. Indeed, the Neanderthals were not just our prehistoric cousins, but a fascinating part of our human story.